Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome. This is Divine Eye Racing, Season 3, Division 1, Round 2. Today we arrive at the Miami Grand Prix. So we've got a full grid today. I think most of these drivers are in fact full-time drivers. If not all of them actually. I'm pretty sure all of them are. I will have to double check that for you guys as I get set up here. Waza on the wet compound tire. Interesting strategy. Who is in the front? A Kick Sauber. I think Alright, so driving today we have Yuri, Cutthroat, Waza, Paddy, Lopo, Abrashid, Tonga, Khan, The Steps, Murillo, Naismith, Divine, Sparrow, Mihu, Swanee, Cervelier, James, Touch, El Shakel, and Shermanator. So I will double check that for you guys, but if I'm not mistaken, I think everybody here is a full-time driver. Yeah, amazing stuff. So last time out in D1, I was unavailable. I apologize. Wasn't able to commentate on that. But the winner was The Steps. He is currently at the top of the driver's table. Second place was Lopo in the Ferrari, and third place was Cervelier in the Aston Martin. So we'll see what happens today. As I said, everyone here is a full-time driver. So this will be telling who is at the front, who is among the fastest drivers. So we're on board with Lopo now. He's going through his first lap. I'm pretty sure I need to lower my volume. Yes. Alright, if you were having trouble hearing me before, that should be better. So we're on board with Lopo. He's on his first flying lap, going through the back straight now in Sector 2. As I said, finished second place last time out. I'm pretty sure he's new to the league, so if he is, welcome. Third gear, going through the hard rock section now. This looks to be a pretty good lap here from Lopo. That I'm not sure if that Kick Sauber impeded him there. I think that's James. I hope he wasn't impeded. It is James, and he is on a lap, so we'll see how the times compare here. Sorry to keep switching. Let's go back with James. He's approaching the left-hand hairpin now. Second gear, 8%. So same with last week when I was commentating in Division 2. The battery just seems to deplete so quickly in this year's game. James, 1 minute 29.2. Lopo, 25.9. That is a flying lap. Wow, good. That's the benchmark. It's a very good benchmark. Sparrow, second place, 128.3. That's Abrashid. Has he crashed? I don't know. I don't see any stopped cars on the mini-map, but Abrashid is retired. Naismith goes P2, Divine goes P4, Cutthroat goes P2. We're missing out on all the drivers here. Who's next across the line? It's a Haas. It's The Steps. He's invalid. Next, I think it's a Red Bull. Maybe Yuri. Yes, Yuri's on a lap. Let's see what Yuri can do. We know he's quick. Coming up to the line now. All his battery's been deployed. 26.2. Only 0.3 off. So pretty close. Shermanator, P4. Another... Is it a Williams? Or it's an RB maybe. Who's the other RB? Swanee. Again, 8% battery. It just blows my mind how quick the battery depletes. Because even in last year's game, on certain tracks like Qatar, for example, you wouldn't have enough deploy to go through the entire lap. This year, it's probably a nightmare. I haven't done new league racing on this year's game yet, but I can only imagine what it's like with this new ERS system. As Swanee goes P6, 1 minute 28.2. So the field is pretty spread out right now, but it was only the first runs. I'm sure most drivers were doing banker laps. So Yeah, we'll see how that changes as the session continues. I think the steps is on another lap after invalidating his first run. Approaching the hairpin now. That looked pretty neat and tidy. He turns on his overtake button, approaching the line, and it's P3, 127.1. That is on mediums, though. He's a second, just over a second behind, but it is on mediums. So he should be able to fight for pole position here. But at the moment, Lopo and Yuri are absolutely dominating the rest of the field. That being said, only half the field has set a lap. But yeah, they're dominating it right now. So we'll see how that continues. Paddy is on a lap, going through the hard rock section now. Not using too much battery. How does that work? He's gaining battery in hot lap deployment mode. Anyways, he jumped the curb a little bit too much there, and he's invalid. So we'll ride on board with Touch now as he's just going through the S section in Sector 1. Small lift there, 5th gear. Very difficult braking zone, this last corner, this left-hander. Now he's going down the back straight. Let's see what his split time. I missed the split time. 30.2. We'll keep that in mind. I'm not sure what a good time is, but 30.2 was his. Approaching the hairpin now, leading up to the hard rock section, 3rd gear. The yellow flag is just flashing in the top left corner. Ooh, a little bit slidey through there, but he keeps it on the track. Turning on the overtake button now, 25% battery. Opening the DRS. Let's see the Sector 2 split time. It doesn't want to show me. Alright, hairpin. Another difficult braking zone. This track is probably one of the hardest on the calendar for the non-ABS users. This track just has such little grip compared to the others, as Touch goes P6, so the limit at 27.3. I think Paddy was also on a lap. He is. This is his second run after invalidating the first one. If you are in the chat, let me know how my mic sounds. I'm testing a new mic today. Last week it wasn't as good as I would have liked it to be. Paddy bounces over the curb there. Little slide, but he keeps it on the road. Looked like a good exit. Approaching the line, P11. So yeah, so from pole to 14th, it's a massive gap. But then you go from P3 to P13, and it's 1.3 seconds. Even smaller if you go from P3 to P11. It's 8/10. Like that's, the midfield is very close. And again, those were just the first runs for these drivers. So we'll see when all the fuel has been used. We'll see when all the battery is being deployed, fresh tires, and the final runs. As Cutthroat gets a big snap of oversteer riding over the curbs. There was an update for the handling today, which made the curbs a little bit harder to drive over, so we'll see if that catches any of the drivers off guard. I think this lap is a little bit too sloppy for Cutthroat, but we'll see how he goes as he continues his lap. Naismith is starting his lap. Paddy is invalid. Divine is on the lap. He's currently in P13, 1 minute 28.3. And again, the field is so tight that even a small improvement can see a massive jump in terms of starting position. So we'll see what Divine does here as he approaches the start-finish line. He doesn't improve, he's 4/10 off. So he will stay in P13 for now. So we ride on board with Khan. He has yet to set a lap. I'm pretty sure I saw a 29 split time, which I'm assuming is good. Just gonna turn on the sound a little bit here. All right. Oh, big slide there. I don't think this is going to be a great lap after that big slide, but we'll see what the time is going to be. If there's anything with my mic or anything with the stream that is, I don't know, irritating, or you would just rather I do something a little bit differently, just please let me know. I'm open to some help, I guess you would say. As Khan goes P9 with a 1 minute 27.6. So smack dab in the middle of that small midfield gap there. As James improved, he's now in P15, 1 minute 28.2. So yeah, those top two guys are, again, absolutely dominating it right now. But everyone else is close. From P3 to P16, it's 1.3 seconds. So just goes to show how tight the field really is. Even in D2, when I was commentating last week, the gap in qualifying, it was very small. So it's good to see that the drivers are close, and it really is anyone's day. Just depends on how their day goes. As Mihu loses the back end going through the under the bridge there, tight chicane, he will have to go for another lap. And we've already gone through 13 minutes of qualifying. Got 5 minutes left. This session has absolutely flown by. Who else is on a lap? Touch might be on a lap. He is. Cutthroat right behind him. Servoyer, the steps now on the soft tire, is improving massively. Okay, let's ride on board with Servoyer. We haven't been on board with him yet. He's currently in 4th place with a 1 minute 27.0, and I'm pretty sure he was up on his time. Going down the straight now. Let's see what he can do. 3rd place last time out in Australia. The Aston Martin driver, that looked very, very good, if I say so myself. Just flicked it into that left-hand hairpin. He's coming up to the line now, and he goes to P3, 1 minute 26.7. The steps is no longer up on his time, must have made a mistake somewhere. Cutthroat is invalid, but Touch is still on the lap. So he's going through the hairpin now. He's in 2nd gear, hits the curb, has a good exit, was on the power early there. Up to the line, let's see where this lap puts him. Opening DRS P4, 1 minute 26.7, just barely off of Servoyer in P3. So let's see if these two, Servoyer and Touch, are able to make a quick pit stop, change the tires, and go for another lap. It will have to be quick because there's only 4 minutes left, and pit stops take a lot more time than you think in qualifying. So Cutthroat is starting another lap. The steps has boxed, so he's probably going to switch up the tires and then go for a final run. He is yet to set a lap on the soft tires, I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, maybe he did improve. I think he improved slightly on the soft, but his time on the mediums was like a 27.0, so not much far off the 26.8 that he put on the soft tire. So I know that the steps definitely has a lot more left in the tank. As Lopo retires, I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Maybe he thinks he has pole position in the bag, but he has retired. He's currently on provisional pole, 1 minute 25.9. That is a cracking lap. And if that was me, I would think that I would be safe for pole, but Yuri is only a couple tenths behind him. So, and even the steps definitely has more left in the tank. So we'll see what happens. But if that was intentional by Lopo, then that is a risky move for sure. Okay, hello Axel. And Cutthroat is boxing. Oh, he was down on his time. Must have made a mistake somewhere. Paddy is invalid, and I think Mihu is the last car. He's on a lap. I don't know if this is a good one. The time doesn't appear to be great. and he is coming in. So now is when all the frantic coming out of the pit starts. You can already see the steps coming out of the pits. Murillo, Shermanator, Khan, Naismith, everyone is making their way out of the pit box and onto the track because they only have 2 minutes to get to the start-finish line to start their final flying run. And this might be an issue for some drivers with all the traffic because I'm assuming every car is going to go for a lap, apart from the ones who have retired. So Divine has just started his lap. James is also on a lap. Just right on board with him. He is 32 thousandths up on his time, so not the biggest gain, but a small gain puts him in P14. Actually, that's not a very small gain, but we'll see if he can make that up. It's 4 tenths between him and P14, which is currently occupied by Swanee. Up to the hairpin now, on the brakes. Oh, went a little bit wide there. I'm not sure if that was intentional. We'll see what his time is going to be. So he comes up to the line, 28.2. He improves, but it's not good enough to improve his position. As he's glitching a little bit on my screen, he stays in P15. I think next to cross the line, I see an Aston Martin. Is it Naismith? It's a different Aston Martin. Cervellier, outlap. McLaren, Ashkel, outlap. Ferrari, Divine. 2.5 tenths up. So you can easily get ahead of James. And with an even bigger gain, he could see himself up into P14 ahead of Swanee. So I think he had a small lockup there. He's out of battery. Opening DRS up to the line, and he goes P15. Into the 27s, 1 minute 27.988. McLaren, Cutthroat, P7, Aston Martin. Was that Naismith up into P5? I think it might have been. That's a very healthy gain, 8.5 tenths. Somebody just improved. I think it was Rios up to P7. There's a Mercedes on a lap. It must be Khan. He isn't on a lap. Shermanator's coming up to the line now. Let's see what he can do. Currently in P11, 27.5 up to the line. He doesn't improve. And the steps, we've been awaiting this lap for quite some time now. Up to the line on his soft compound tires, P3, 1 minute 26.5. His teammate Swanee is invalid. Who's next? Is it Naismith? Is it Cervellier? Cervellier is invalid. Cutthroat. El Shakel. El Shakel is gaining by 5 tenths. That would put him in the P8. Let's see what he can do. P10. 4.5 tenth gain. 1 minute 27.3. Next is Touch. And I think he improved up to P4 there. 1 minute 26.6. Good lap from him. I think this is it. It is. So Lopo took the gamble and has paid off. He saves a set of soft compound tires. It was his first lap that got him on pole position. And same with Yuri, actually. Both of them on their so-called banker runs were able to put it in P1 and P2 respectively. So cheers to them, fair play. Like I said, cracking laps. And we will see the Ferrari start from pole position in just a few minutes. One minute 25.9. Pole position. Lopo Tichiki. P2, Yuri. 26.2. And the steps in P3, I'm at 26.5. Touch, Chevalier, Cutthroat, Naismith, Marios, Patty, El Shakel, Sparrow, Shermanator, Khan, Swanee, Divine, James, Mihu, Waza, Abdurashid, and Tonga. These three retired before they were able to set a lap. Actually, no. I think they had. I think they had qualifying bans. Actually, I think that was what it was. Yeah. They all three of them had qualifying bans. So Waza ended up being the lucky one there, starting in front of the other two. If you have any predictions, please feel free to put it in the chat. Something I like doing with my viewers, just making some bold predictions. I am familiar with everybody in this division, whereas in D2 I wasn't. So I'm going to make some more educated guesses this time. Pain. I know what you're talking about, but I forget what it's from. Is it Rocky? I think it's Rocky. Like the movie. It's boxing. That's all I know. I've seen the clip before. that made me laugh. That was funny. Clubber Lang, yeah. So I'm just waiting to see the grid here before I make my predictions, but yeah, the drivers are just getting their setups prepared, getting the fuel loads prepared for the upcoming race. Doesn't seem like there are any shenanigans today with readying up too early. We're going to find that clip now.
Switch to our remote cameras inside the dressing rooms.
Would you care to comment on how you plan to fight Balboa? What's your strategy?
Don't need any. Balboa's so predictable and stupid. The man comes straight ahead. He's tailor-made for me, and he's gonna get hurt.
What's your prediction for the fight, then?
Prediction?
Yes, prediction.
Pain.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna do. Oh wait, no, El Shakel. Is he a reserve? El Shakel might be a reserve. Yes, he is. Sir Spongy is missing. Yeah, but everyone else is full-time driver. Okay. I'm gonna do. Ooh, this is tough. I'm gonna go. I don't want to jinx anyone. I'm gonna go Marios DNF. I'm gonna go. Shermanator points. Okay, points. Everyone gets points, but top 10 Shermanator, and I'm gonna say. Yuri will not finish on the podium. Those are my bold predictions for today's race. So, Yuri outside the top 3, Marios DNF, and Shermanator top 10. I think we're almost ready to go now, as the last few cars are getting ready on the line. Oh, flying into the box is Tonga. Oh, why can't I see? All right, here we go. 4, 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we go here in Miami. It's a good start from Lopo. Yuri is already going behind him. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? He will not, and Lopo will try to run away with that. And they've already pulled away significantly from the rest of the field, as the steps is 6/10 behind them. And Cutthroat going to move down the inside. Beautiful move by the McLaren driver. Is he going to get touchkey as well? He goes off the track. I'm not sure if he's going to give that position back, but that was a bold and well-calculated move from the McLaren. Got Shermanator and Naismith going side by side. Look at that. My prediction is already looking pretty good. Shermanator up 4 places already. And I think Cervillier has gotten back past Cutthroat. And here we go. He's trying to make a move on touchkey as well. He's got the overspeed down the straight. 3 wide. Oh, what a send from Cutthroat. And he makes it work as well. What a move from the McLaren. Exciting, exciting battles here on the opening lap of this Miami GP. The Aston and Touchkey. The Aston of Naismith and Touchkey battling side by side there through the Hard Rock section. I don't know if this is like a tire issue for Touch, but he's not doing great at the moment. He's lost 3 positions. Shermanator's all over the back of him. Let's see if he can recover from this. Swanee making a move on Marios, and that's crazy overspeed from Tonga. He's going to try to go down the inside of Swanee. They make contact. I think he's going to get the move done though. And that's Tonga up 9 positions already. What a start from him. Amazing stuff. Oh, and Touchkey had damage. He's into the pits. That would make sense. Oh, side by side. Swanee and Tonga again. Another wheel bang there, and Tonga keeps position. Oh, Al Shakel drives into the wall there. I'm not sure if that was a glitch. He does have damage. Nothing visible. Oh, has he lost an end plate there, maybe? He has. He has no end plate on the left side. And oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's a Gasly and Norris. Wow. I didn't get the best view of that, but Swanee took out El Shakel there. I think it was El Shakel, if my memory is correct. But that was exactly like the crash with, I think it was Norris, but Gasly for sure, at the Miami GP, I think it was last year. Like carbon copy. Wow. Here, I'm just going to watch that back on the stream to fact check it here. It was was it El Shakel? Yeah, it was, oh no, it was Tonga. It was Swanee and Tonga. Yeah, so it looked like maybe Tonga closed the door a little bit because El Shakel was on the outside and Swanee just tagged him there. So I'm sure that will be reported. A couple of drivers diving into the pits here. Yeah, it was Gasly and Norris. It was 2 years ago though. But that was like identical. Wow. Did I say Swanee top 10? I said Shermanator top 10. Marios DNF and Yuri. Oh, Yuri's into the lead. We missed it. Yuri has overtaken Lopo, and he's into the lead. Okay, so after that first 1.5 laps, Abrashid is your biggest gainer, gaining 11 positions. He's in P8. And our biggest faller is Touchkey in P15. He did make a pit stop though. So I think, I'm not sure if Murillo's made a pit stop. He did. So who is our biggest faller if we ignore pit stops? Is it Naismith? I think he pitted as well. Yeah. It would be someone up here. It would be Cutthroat. But Tonga had an amazing start. He started in dead last, I'm pretty sure. And I think he was up into the top 10. And unfortunately for him, he got tagged by Swanee there. So not much he could do. Again, I'm not sure if he had closed the door maybe on the inside, because the straight does tighten up a little bit there. But that is unfortunate for the Haas driver. He is almost back where he started in P17. So we're going to keep an eye on this battle at the front. Let's see who made their stops. Basically from P14 down, and then Cutthroat. Oh, and Divine is pitting now, so I'm not sure why. He will come out in last place, but well, maybe he had a penalty to serve. Looks like they're not doing anything to the car right now, so he must have had a penalty. So then that would make sense. He will come out in last, but he will have his penalty served. And those are interesting tire warming strategies from Yuri there. Yeah, just let me know how my mic was on that first lap if you can, please. As I said earlier, I'm testing out a new mic. Hopefully it's better. Last week it was a little bit cracky, so to speak, when I was getting a little bit loud. Alright, let's look at the tires. So no one's on soft. I forgot to look at the tires that the drivers had on when they started the race, but I don't think anyone was on soft. Mostly hard compound right now. A couple medium runners. Murillo's, Divine, and Shermanator. We had a VSC. It got moved to a full safety car, and it's coming in this lap. So we'll see if Lopo retakes the lead here. Isn't he like destroying his tires by doing that? I always thought the meta for tire warming was to just hold the brake slightly while you're accelerating, but maybe Yuri knows more than me. He's a lot quicker than me, that's for sure. So, and he's off. Starting lap 5 of this race, and he's got a healthy lead over the Ferrari. The steps is right on the tail of him. And Al Shakel must have accelerated a little bit too early there. Maybe he made an overtake under yellow flag conditions, and he's got a 10-second time penalty. So that is definitely not in his favor. You got Abrashid and Cutthroat pretty close to each other. Tonga trying to make up the places that he lost in that collision. Oh, nice move there down the inside. He's up in the P15. And Lopo is right on the back of Yuri. They're on the same tire. 4-lap old hards. So I think they started on those. And yeah, they did start on those. That's interesting to start on the hard tire. maybe the strategies are different on this game, but last game, most people would start on mediums. Marios overtakes Hutchke. Cutthroat approaching Sparrow now. He breezes past. And that sees the McLaren up into P7. Sparrow had a look. He keeps it down the inside. Almost tags Cutthroat there. Smart. It was smart of him to back out of that. That could have been dangerous. We got Khan overtaking Mihu. Not sure where to look here. There's so much going on the track. Shermanator and Paddy going side by side. Paddy almost takes him out. Again, smart to back out of that. So that could have been another incident. El Shakel's pretty close to Waza. So let's go to that battle. Oh, and Lopo has gotten the move done. Let's see if Yuri's going to fight back here. He's turning on his ERS down the back straight here. He's got DRS as well. And he sails past in the steps. Almost collided with the Ferrari. He goes around the outside at the 90-degree left-hander approaching the Hard Rock section. And Lopo has just lost 2 positions in 1 corner. Has a big slide there. I think that was a warning. He cut the inside quite a bit. So this was not the start that Lopo would have wanted. You got Tonga overtaking Waza into the left-hand hairpin. And Abrashid has gone past Sparrow. And James looking to get past Mihu down the inside. Lovely move from the Scottish driver there. Marijos and Divine going side by side to the X section. Curbs there were already pretty dangerous. I think they're even worse now after the handling patch today. The steps, does he go for it? He doesn't. And that has invited Lopo Tachiki to the party. He's all over the back of them. So we have, look at that, Shermanator up in the P6. He gained a few positions. We have from P1 to P6 all within DRS. And even Cutthroat is right on the brink of that as well. Shermanator had a big slide there going over the curb. And Chevalier, he's got past Paddy. Will Paddy fight back? He's got the inside line, but Chevalier has a great exit. He keeps P4. And Khan gets past Sparrow. I've already missed out on a couple overtakes at the front here, so I'm trying not to lose too much focus, trying to keep it on the battle at the front here until this calms down a little bit. I know there are some overtakes happening in the midfield. Lopo only 3/10 behind the Haas of the steps. He's got DRS. He's not using his battery. The red light is flashing on the steps car. He's got 40% battery. Lopo's got 50. Locks a wheel going into that left-hander. And it is a bit of a stalemate right now. All the drivers are within half a second of each other, but no real moves are being made. It's a bit of a DRS train. There's not enough overspeed to get a good run on the car ahead for anyone here. Oh, is Lopo going to go for it? He doesn't have the speed. Oh, and the steps going around the outside. Very little space there. Is he going to get it done around the outside? I think he went a little bit wide there, maybe a little bit off track limits. This will probably be his chance. Yuri does not have the DRS. The Steps does. He keeps on the outside. And that is great defending from Yuri there. Oh, big snap of oversteer from the Red Bull driver. We got a yellow flag. It's the McLaren of El Shakel. He must have crashed and came into the pits. Khan all over the back of Abrashid here. Let's see if he makes a move into the sweeping left-hander. We saw, I think it was Tonga. We saw Tonga do it earlier. We saw somebody do it. And it was a great, he does it again. Wow, what a move from the Haas driver. Made that look easy. And the Ferrari of Lopo gets past the Steps. Doesn't have enough speed to get past Yuri though. Tonga's all over the back of Abrashid. I think he's going to get another move done here. Wow. Tonga's on an absolute tear today. He went from P20 to, I think it was P10. Had that incident with Swanee. Went down to P17 and he's back up into P9. Amazing stuff. And Lopo has retaken the lead here on lap 9. And he locks wheels. He locks both front tires. Those are not gonna help in terms of tire wear. Yeah, this is a prime example that when the car ahead also has DRS, it's so difficult to overtake because there's not much difference in speed. When all the drivers are close like, oh, Lopo goes off the track. Big mistake from the Ferrari driver. Is he going to lose position to Servoyer? Maybe. A good racecraft from both of them to avoid contact there. That could have been sketchy. But I think Servoyer is going to get the move done. Oh, contact again. Wow. The elbows are out. Servoyer's got mega pace. Is it going to be 3 overtakes in one corner? He goes a little bit deep. And the Step sticks with him here. He has the inside line. I think he's going to keep that position. It was a great job by the Steps to stick with Servoyer. But we just learned that Servoyer has got mega pace in a straight line. And I was just about to say that in such a tight train like this, where every car is less than a half a second apart, it's so important to not make any mistakes because it can cost you big time. And just like we saw with Lopo, as I was about to say that earlier on this lap, Lopo made a mistake and now he's down in P4. The Steps briefly took the lead, but Yuri gets it back on the start-finish straight. Got yellow flags. I think that's Khan, who had an incident with another car maybe. There were a couple cars that were tumbling down the order. And at the moment, it looks like this is the only real battle on the track from P1 to P5 here. Everyone else, I mean, except for Khan and Divine, everyone else are out of DRS. And Yuri picks up the first penalty of this race on lap 11. So that is not good. He's currently in the lead. Now he's got to hope that nobody else at the front, or he's got to hope that everyone else at the front gets penalties, or else this could be detrimental to his result, as Abrashid picks up a penalty as well. Yeah, and Shermanator speeds in the pit lane and gets a 10-second time penalty. So, just like we saw with Lopo just a couple laps ago, I think that a mistake is going to be the biggest deciding factor in terms of how this battle shakes out, because this battle has been brewing since the end of the safety car, since lap 5. And apart from this mega speed from Servoyer, it hasn't been very easy overtaking. It's been a bit of a stalemate. Everyone's just trying to keep their positions. A little bit of contact there between Servoyer and the steps. Nice little battle there, but the Aston Martin is able to get it up in the P2. Let's see if the steps is able to retake it. Crucially, in that battle with the steps, Servoyer lost DRS to Yuri. So that could have been dangerous. He might have lost position to Lopo there. But he's lucky to keep it in P3. Only got overtaken by the steps. Now the steps isn't going to get the DRS. Let's see if Servoyer goes for it down the inside. He keeps it out of the slipstream, and he decides to not go for it, as Paddy and Lopo are going at it here through the first couple corners. Lopo keeps his position, P4, and this is Yuri's chance to run away with it. After picking up that penalty, he's gained a second in the first sector on the steps. This is the perfect opportunity for him to build a gap and try to mitigate that penalty, as Lopo goes for a nice move down the inside at the sweeping left-hander. Oh, a lot of contact here on this back straight. That pace is incredible from Servoyer. He almost got the steps as well. Might have got a tap in the back from Lopo there. So I believe all these drivers are yet to make their stops. They are. So I'm assuming they're all going to go to mediums. We'll see if anyone tries for an overcut, undercut. And if they pay off, these three drivers very, very close. Servoyer, Lopo, and Paddy. And Paddy's going to go for it on Lopo here into turn 1. Lopo's late on the brakes, locks the rears. Has to save it. He's still there on the outside. I think he's going to keep his position here. Oh, he loses it. He loses it coming onto the power. That's probably wing damage, and that sees him down to P6. Down to P7 now. After a great pole lap, this race is definitely not going the way Lopo would have wanted. Oh yeah, he's got major wing damage. He's got no front grip. That's unfortunate for the Ferrari driver. He might retire here. He's getting absolutely eaten up by the cars behind him without his front wing. But it might not be the end of the world. A safety car can always come, and it is almost time to pit anyways. So apart from the time he lost without his front wing, this might not be terrible. Cutthroat, we haven't seen much of him. He's been slowly lurking in the back there behind this battle, saving his battery, saving his tires. He could be a dark horse here as we approach the middle of this race. Hasn't really been involved in any battles yet, but he is nowhere near being out of the question for this battle for P3. P2, I should say. And Lopo's out. He's retired in the pit lane. That's unfortunate. He had such a good qualifying. He was doing a good job. He was in the top 2 for a majority of the first bit of the race, and then he had that mistake, and he made it which put him down to P4. And then he had a second mistake, and that has just led to his retirement. Cervellier, again, showcasing straight line speed. Up into P2 now. But he's got that big, long straight to defend from the steps. He's built a 6/10 gap. So we'll see what he can do. Maybe he can keep the position here. Maybe he can start to build a gap and keep it in P2 here for the long run. Yeah, and the steps has nothing. He doesn't even get close. So this was that was a good couple of corners for Cervellier, and he's starting to run away with it now. Yuri is the first one for the hard compound runners to make his stop. So going for the undercut, trying to protect his lead, from the steps. And Lopo saying he got desync. So that was unfortunate after what was an amazing qualifying and a good start to that race. Marios also makes his stop. Oh, Cutthroat stopped already. Interesting. Oh, that's right. He stopped he stopped during the safety car. I would love to see the POV of that, Lopo, because from our angle, as you said, it looked like you just lost the car there, which would be very believable, especially at that corner, that specific corner. But if you're saying that you made contact with him, then that's an unfortunate way to retire from that race. Okay, no problem. Don't worry about it. As the steps overtake Cervellier, so Cervellier wasn't in the clear there. So the steps now into the lead. And interestingly, these two drivers are staying out. So, do they know something that Yuri doesn't? Let's see if Yuri can make those tires last. He pitted for mediums. He's got 13 more laps to go. Divine all over the back of Waza here. Has a look down the inside. That would have been a little bit too ambitious, I'm afraid. And he keeps in P9 for now. And we're going to go back to this battle here as Divine makes the overtake through the S section. He's up into P8. Who else should we watch? Yuri is on the back of Naismith as they approach the longest straight on the track. 4/10 behind. He's all over the back of him now. He's just set the purple middle sector for the Grand Prix on those fresh medium tires. And he just drives past the Aston Martin with a big lockup though. And both the Steps and Cervellier have made their pit stops, putting Cutthroat into the lead. And Naismith gets a penalty for speeding. That was a slow stop for the Steps there. I'm not sure why. Oh, but he's still ahead of Cervellier. Paddy narrowly got by. Oh, Paddy got by them. Paddy, what an undercut for the Mercedes driver. He's gotten past the Steps and Cervellier. And Yuri is some 7/10 ahead of the three of them. So the undercut proved to be more effective. These two are still yet to make their stops. They pitted early on in the GP. As Cervellier gets past the Steps, almost gets past Paddy as well, but just doesn't have enough speed on that particular occasion. Got a little battle here, starting up in the midfield, from Naismith down to touch. Oh, and Cervellier sails past Paddy. Oh, contact! The steps hits Paddy in the back there. I'm not sure if that causes him wing damage, but Cervellier up in the P4. Let's see if we can spot any wing damage as he almost hits Paddy again there. Must have broke a bit later on those two corners. I don't see any damage. Maybe it's small. Could be no damage at all. On Shermanator had an incident with one of the cars in the midfield there. So let's see if Cervellier's straight line speed helps him keep the position here. Paddy looks for a move down the inside, but Cervellier does a good job on the brakes, and he keeps P3 for now. Went a little bit wide at the apex there. I don't think he's going to be able to keep P3 this time. He might even lose 2 positions here. Let's see if the steps can overtake him as well. Paddy sails past, and the steps is coming at him as well, and the steps might get 2 positions here. Down the inside he goes. Cervellier, well done on the brakes from him, and he's going to get an amazing exit and re-overtake the Haas driver. There was a little bit of contact there, and I think the steps had to take evasive action, but he gets back into P4 anyways. Divine makes his second pit stop. He pitted early on as well. Khan gets past Abrashid, and the steps gets past Paddy. So constant switching here between the steps, Paddy and Cervellier. And Yuri has gotten into DRS of Cutthroat. Cutthroat could make it to the end here. He isn't obliged to make a pit stop because he pitted early on. The question is, are the tires going to last? He has an 8/10 gap between, or 8-second gap, sorry, between him and the steps. So it might be worth it to just roll the dice and stay out and see if he can keep P2 here. As I said before, this guy, Cutthroat, could be a dark horse in this race. He was just chilling there, 2.5 seconds behind basically the entire time. And it might prove to be the advantage for him. He's keeping DRS to Yuri in front, so that's going to help him. But he did lose a second there on that last lap. So the tires are obviously not as good as these 3 gentlemen. And Cervellier nearly making contact with Paddy. He gets the move done. This battle just keeps getting better and better. They're so close. And if they keep this up, unfortunately, there might be a crash in the near future. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Still 7 seconds between Cutthroat and the steps. But if I was Cutthroat right now, I am staying out to the end of this race. Because if he makes the pit stop, he's going to come out somewhere here in P7, P8. And he's going to get caught up in a battle and he might not have enough time to regain the lost positions. He's definitely not going to make it up into P5. He is losing quite a bit of time, but if he stays out, there's a chance that he could keep a podium place or a top 5, which is definitely not possible if he pits. So if I was him, I would definitely stay out and just try to get as much pace as possible out of the car. If there's a late safety car, that works out perfectly for Cutthroat. He could box onto fresh softs because everyone else probably will, and then he will only have a couple laps to keep P2, and he could even get the win with Yuri's penalty. So Cutthroat is in a very favorable position as it stands. That gap is coming down though. He lost a second and a half on that last lap. The gap is now under 5 seconds between him and the steps. But the battle between these 3 cars is going to slow them down a little bit, and that's exactly why Cutthroat can definitely have a chance at keeping P2 here. There haven't been many overtakes in a little while in this battle, but the cars are so close. 3.5 tenths between Servoyer and Paddy, 2 tenths between the steps and Servoyer. Servoyer is on a full tank of ERS, and the steps is only at 30%, so it's almost guaranteed Servoyer is going to get past on this straight here, and even Paddy might be able to challenge them as we approach the hard rock section. So here we go then. Servoyer's got the DRS. He doesn't need ERS, and even the steps opts not to turn on his battery. Little lock up there from the steps. Servoyer takes the position, and he's up into the podium places. So going back to my predictions, I said Yuri will not finish on the podium, so that is looking otherwise right now. I said points for Shermanator, that is looking otherwise right now. And I said DNF for Murillo, so that is also looking otherwise right now. So 0 for 3 for now. We'll see if anything changes. Like I said, a safety car definitely puts Yuri out of the podium places, 100%. So not that I'm wishing for anyone to crash and bring out the safety car here, but just pointing out the obvious. Oh, big lock up there from Servoyer. I wonder what the tire wear is like for these drivers. They didn't pit too long ago. And now the gap is only 2.2 seconds between Servoyer and Cutthroat. So yeah, if I'm Cutthroat right now, I am praying for a safety car. But even if there is no safety car, he should be able to keep at least P5, the very least. And he was in P6 for majority of the race. So, but there's no turning back now. It's lap 24 of 29. He has 5 laps left in the GP, and if he pits now, it just wouldn't be worth it. He wouldn't get as much advantage from the tires as he could be getting had he boxed earlier. And now Servoyer has gotten into the DRS of the McLaren drivers. So let's see what happens. This is also pretty dangerous for Cutthroat. Because he's on those older hard tires, he's going to have a massive drop-off in terms of pace compared to the drivers behind him. So I hope there are no incidents here, because Cutthroat is going to be fought pretty hard over the next few corners. Servoyer has a DRS open. I don't think he's going to make a move here. He doesn't. But I'm expecting the speed difference to be big enough for him to make a move into the S's here. So we'll see what happens. He's got 50% battery, Cutthroat does. Servoyer's just got a little bit more. And you can already see the pace difference going through there, but Cutthroat keeps on the racing line, and there's not much Servoyer can do as he taps him in the rear. This is what I was talking about, ladies and gentlemen. By being on those older tires, Cutthroat, I don't want to say he's a hazard, but he's definitely not as quick as the driver's behind him, and he's just getting absolutely picked off one by one here. Cervellier in the steps already get through. I don't think Paddy is going to get him, though, on this occasion. He keeps it down the inside. Job well done from Cutthroat, but again, the tires just don't have nearly as much grip to those of the steps. And unfortunately, he is not able to get that position back. Paddy will probably make the move here as well. Only 3/10 behind. He's turning on the battery. And he looks like he will get the position. So there you have it then. From P2 to P5 in one lap. But it's okay because, like I said, Cutthroat was in P6 for the majority of this race. All he has to do now is just stay ahead of Tonga. And Tonga has a penalty as well. So, in my book, this was a good race from Cutthroat. He just got to keep it on the track now. And on those tires, easier said than done. He's been on them for 23 laps, so basically the entire race. He pitted, I'm pretty sure it was at the first safety car on lap 2. We still have a battle at the front to look out for here, though. The steps is within striking distance of Cervellier. So we take a look at the penalties. About half the field has a penalty. And Cervellier's straight line speed is proving to be quite the advantage here. He's doing a good job defending from the steps. And we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Is it going to be the safety car? It isn't. It looked like Shermanator had a small incident there. If the safety car is going to come out, it would have to be now because it would need to go back into the pits before the last lap. So there's no turning back once these drivers cross the finish line. Khan is in DRS of Abrashid. I would love to see how that battle is panning out, but we've got an even bigger battle here at the front between Cervellier, the steps, and Paddy. And Cutthroat, again, is just chilling here, just keeping it close, like only 2 seconds behind Paddy. So maybe we'll see him back in the mix by the time the last lap comes around. Yeah, 1.7 seconds. And he's got almost a full tank of battery. So the only thing he's going to lose is the DRS. And that, unfortunately, is a lot more time than people would think. So I don't think he's going to be able to catch back up. But again, on those tires, Cutthroat is doing a mega job. These two drivers have a full tank of ERS, so does the Cervellier, but crucially, Paddy picks up a penalty. So Cutthroat could get P4 here. He has 2.5 laps, almost 2 laps, and all he has to do is keep it within 3 seconds of Paddy. And given the fact that these three are battling, that isn't as hard as it may sound. Cervellier, again, his traction is unbelievable. His traction and straight line speed have been dominant to everyone else. Let's see if he keeps the position here. He locks up that inside front tire, and unfortunately the exit wasn't as good this time. Paddy gets up into P2. So after Paddy got that penalty, he's not finishing on the podium, that's for sure. But he still has that position that he's got to fight for with Cutthroat. Oh, Cervellier's all over the back of Paddy. He's got 100% in the bank in his ERS system. And he will easily breeze past here down the straight. Paddy's almost empty. Which goes to show how quick you can burn your battery on this game. And I thought Cervellier was going to get past, but he won't on this occasion. And a lot of drivers are picking up penalties here in the closing stages of this race. And Cervellier gets a penalty. He cut the inside just a little bit too much. And this opens the door wide open for the Steps. The Steps is going to get P2 here, unless he picks up a penalty as well. If I was him, I would just stay cautious because he doesn't need to push. Oh, dangerous defending from Cervellier. Almost swipes the Steps off the track, but the Steps get the position anyway. And now he's in a sandwich, so he can't really back out now, as we had, I think it was James who went off the track in Sector 1. This is the last lap of the GP here. And the Steps needs to pray that he doesn't get a penalty. Almost gets tapped in the back by Cervellier. Oh, he does get tagged! Oh no! The Steps gets tagged by Cervellier. And now he's got damage. And now I'm not so sure if he's going to get on the podium. With that wing damage, he's going to have a significant drop in pace. And he might not be able to keep it within 3 seconds of Paddy and Cervellier. So we're going to see what happens. Even Cutthroat could get within 3 seconds of Cervellier if he has a cracking final lap. So that's heartbreaking to see from the Steps if he ends up getting off the podium because of that incident. It should be P2. He's still keeping it pretty close to 2 drivers in front of him despite the wing damage. So he should be okay, but that was very nearly more severe than it was. As Khan and Abrashid are fighting it out. Yuri is going through the last hairpin now. And Cervellier gets past Paddy. Yuri's going to come across the line to win the Miami GP. And Paddy's all over the back of Cervellier, but it doesn't matter. At least for the Steps. Cervellier takes P2, Paddy takes P3 on track, but after penalties, the Steps gets promoted to P2. Cutthroat, amazing drive from him, P5. Tonga, P6. Naismith will come home in P7 on track, but he's going to lose that position to Marios. And he gets another 10-second penalty, so he's probably going to get overtaken by Tutschke as well. Great recovery drive by Tutschke. He was in last on the first couple laps, and he has brought it back home in P9. Abrashid is going to lose 2 positions here due to his penalties. So this is a prime example of how penalties can ruin good results or good finishing positions. Waza comes across the line, P13. Sparrow, P14, and Shermanator, P15. So I officially went 0 for 3 on the predictions. My predictions were Yuri doesn't make it to the podium, Marios DNFs, and Shermanator gets top 10. So now I'm hoping the top 3 drivers are free for an interview because that would be ideal. So the Steps finished P2, so I'll be asking him for an interview. So there you have it then. Yuri wins this one. Didn't he win last week as well? Oh no, it was the Steps last week. So Yuri, P1, the Steps P2, Cervellier P3. Paddy, Cutthroat, Tonga, Marios, Naismith, Touch, Khan, Divine, Abrashid, Waza, Sparrow, Shermanator, James, Mihu, and then Lopo, El Shakal, and Swanee did not finish. So yeah, so just waiting for the podium finishers, and hopefully they're all interested in an interview. The Steps is good to go. Yuri should be good to go. I'm just waiting for Chevalier, and he is good to go as well. All right, so we should be getting Chevalier into the party now. So, Steps. Chevalier is in here as well. Yuri's in here. Okay, perfect. Hello, Chevalier.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, sorry, I don't have my mic in. Okay, I should be able to hear you now?
Yeah, all good.
Awesome. Okay, the Steps, you will be next. I'm going to be starting with Chevalier. I'm just going to make sure the stream can hear you before we start. All right, could you speak, please, Chevalier?
Testing. Testing.
Okay, they can hear you. Awesome. All right.
Nice.
So, congratulations on the podium, Chevalier. It was a great drive. You had a battle pretty much all race with those top drivers in the top 5. You got in the podium last time out as well. How'd you feel today? How'd you feel the pace was?
Yeah, pace was okay. I mean, I had some damage lap 1. Thank you very much, first of all, on the podium. But had some damage lap 1 with a turn 1 incident. That's just racing, unfortunately. But yeah, the top 4 were all really quick. It's a shame that Tuchki as well had to bow out of the battle. But it was a hard-fought battle, a hard-fought race the whole way through, and I'm glad I can come away with the podium, to be honest.
Right, so the damage that you were talking about, did you repair that in your first pit stop, or?
No, I didn't. It was only light damage, but I could definitely feel it, especially through Sector 1. Definitely had a lot of understeer. Luckily as well, I had a little incident with the Steps on the last lap.
On the last lap, yeah, we got that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have anywhere to go. I mean, I'll send it to the Steps afterwards, but it was just one of those unfortunate incidents.
Yeah. So you had to deal with that all race then, the slight wing damage.
Yeah, I mean, I felt my pace was good. Otherwise, I've done a bit of practice for this race, and I definitely feel that there was more to be had apart from a P3. But hey, we go again next time.
Right. So you got P3 last time out, if I'm correct. So that's 2 P3s in a row. So now we're starting to see who the quicker drivers are on this game, in this division. Where do you think you stand? Do you think you have a chance at the championship? I know it's early, but do you think you're up there?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, consistency is key in a championship, and I feel like I'm one of the more consistent drivers out on the grid. I may not always qualify top 3, but I'm always thereabouts in the race. So I feel like I've got a good chance, and hopefully I can stay consistent.
Well, thank you for the interview, Chevalier. Congratulations on the podium. Good luck next week.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, the steps. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right, let's
Can
see.
you hear me? One,
I'm
two,
just gonna
three.
make sure.
One,
Yep,
two,
they
three.
can.
Testing.
They
Okay.
can. Perfect. All right, the steps. Congratulations on the podium. I'm pretty sure you won last time out, if I'm correct.
Yes, I did.
So you should still be at the top of the table. But anyways, first place, second place, great way to start the season. How'd you feel today?
I mean, it was great. I mean, Miami is like one of those tracks when you really need to be on point when it comes to track limits and exit corners and etc. So yeah, to be able to be consistently this fast throughout the entire lap and the entire race, yeah, it's very uplifting.
Amazing. How did you find Cervelier's straight line speed? Was it difficult to get by him particularly?
Uh, no, it actually wasn't. I was playing the tactical game. I didn't want to overtake him too early, or too many times. I didn't want to like trade places because I don't usually do that. I'm not comfortable with that play style, quote unquote. So no, I was just sitting back behind him and waiting for a mistake.
That is a good strategy. As we saw early on in the race, Lopo there made a crucial mistake, which ultimately led to his retirement. So, how are you finding the new game? Do you think that you have a chance at the championship, and do you think that this new game suits your driving style?
I mean, every new F1 game is a challenge to adapt, especially this one, F1 24, being so almost entirely different from the previous game.
Right.
But I'm finding my footing, and it's coming along. And with the first place in the previous race, and now second place, I'm aiming for the championship.
Well, you're looking great out there. Congratulations on the podium. Thank you for the interview. Good luck next week.
Thanks.
All right, so Yuri will be doing a typed interview. So I will be typing him the questions. All right, I think we're ready for Yuri's interview. Hello. So, Yuri, congratulations on the win. That was a calculated drive, dominated the race. And yeah, I don't know where you finished last week, but it wasn't on the podium. So this is definitely your biggest race so far this season. Were you even racing last week? Oh, okay. Right, so yeah, congratulations on the win. As I said, that was a dominated drive. And how did you feel today? Obviously good. It was a really good pace from you. Right. I don't think the stream can hear you, so if you would like to type the answers after the interview so I could repeat it for the stream, then that would be good. Okay, so how are you feeling on the new game? What do you think of the handling, and do you think that you're among the top drivers in this division this season? Yeah, so Yuri said that he thinks he's one of the top drivers. This year's game helped him in terms of pace. He thinks that it suits his driving style more. And yeah, we can't wait to see more. This is a great battle this week. Even in D2 last week, I'm noticing that the field is really close together. So it's great to see. It makes for exciting racing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, or I think we're all looking forward to see how the championship and just how the divisions continue this season. And congratulations on the result. Thank you for the interview, Yuri, and good luck next week. All right, thank you. Bye. All right, everyone. This was DER Division 1, Round 2, Miami. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.